This is the Player 4 Podcast. Join us each week as we talk about video games, entertainment, and pop culture, and bring in guests from the Rooster Teeth community. Player 4 has entered the game.
Ready for another Player 4 podcast?
I am.
Yay! Start us off.
Hello, I am Tristan, aka Shagraseer on the Rooster Teeth website.
I am Alex, aka Chaos Black 21.
I'm Malachi, aka Sukikiba.
Hi, Sukikiba. Joseph's around, but he's not here yet, so we'll give him a little time to show up. He'll be here eventually.
Yes.
And he's aka J Dunlap.
AKA J to the D Lap.
So, what came out?
Of my mouth words.
Let's see. Was it Monday of this week? I think it came out because or was it yesterday?
I have no idea. I didn't check when it came out.
Was it a trailer? I bet it was a trailer. I bet he's only asking.
It was a trailer.
I'm really good at the guessing game.
It's a trailer that everyone has been looking forward to recently.
Wonder Woman.
No. Remember when Brie Larson, is that her name?
Brie Brower?
No. Now I have to look it up. I think it's Brie Larson.
Don't ask me actor and actress names. I don't know those things.
When she tweeted out to... Yeah, it's Brie Larson. Tweeted out to Entertainment Weekly, hey, do you want to blow up the internet or something?
This rings a bell.
Yeah. And so everyone was like, oh my gosh, the trailer's coming out for Captain Marvel. And then they just released pictures of her in like the costume.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the trailer actually did get released here, I believe yesterday. So that's pretty much what everyone is talking about right now. Captain Marvel. We finally have some footage. It's coming out March 8th of next year, and the trailer I think is about just under 2 minutes long.
I gotta be honest, I originally thought this was about DC's Captain Marvel because I've really never known much about Marvel's Captain Marvel and always been more familiar with the DC character.
I don't know either character.
What? You don't know the guy who says Shazam and becomes a superhero?
No.
Oh.
However, that has stuff going for it as well.
It does.
But I haven't looked at anything about it.
It's kind of a comedy hero.
Yeah, I don't know either of them also.
Any event, so we have a trailer for Marvel's Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Who is a blonde lady who you said has a name that is Brie.
Well, the actress is Brie Larson. The character's name is Carol Danvers. Supposedly, it's the way she gets her powers, I think, has already been said that's going to be slightly altered in the movie compared to the comic books.
Gotcha.
So the trailer starts off with something crashing into a blockbuster, which kind of shows the kind of time frame that it's going to be in. It's going to be set in the 90s. There's going to be a whole bunch of 90s pop culture references.
Hooray.
I thought it was really funny. It crashed into a blockbuster.
Yeah, it ends up being Carol Danvers crashing into a blockbuster. They show Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury again. But
really
this time he's young and he still has both of his eyes.
I saw that and I was like, hey, young Sam Jackson. I only caught glimpses, so I couldn't tell if they'd used like practical movie magic to make Sam Jackson young or if they'd cast somebody to be young Sam Jackson.
That is a good question. They can do a lot of crazy crap nowadays.
I think it's still Sam Jackson.
Yeah, I think it's
unsure. It's definitely his voice.
Yeah.
It might be C. Jackson. Jackson spelled with a G.
Oh my God, no.
Wow,
yeah, I did it. I found a way.
And then they show at one point a beeper saying with the guy Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury putting in with Target. So that's interesting if, like, say S.H.I.E.L.D. might be going after Carol Danvers originally, or it's just they're trying to recruit her, and so she's still technically a target for them.
Not sure. I thought I saw an Agent Coulson.
Yes.
Did I? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you did.
And he has more hair.
He's got more hair. Everybody's young and new. Everything old is new again.
Yep, Coulson's there. We see Jude Law, who is playing Marvel.
What? Wait, why are you saying Marvel? That's really weird emphasis.
That's how it I mean, I don't know how it actually is. It's MAR, and then there's a dash, and then VELL.
Wait, is he as alien?
Yes, he is Kree, I believe.
Right.
That's technically how Carol Danvers got her powers, is that I think her like genetic makeup gets fused with Kree, and that's how she gets her powers.
Somebody should get really upset at all of S.H.I.E.L.D. for not foreseeing this Kree attack in the Battle of New York later on, huh? Did I hear Joseph join us?
Joseph!
I guess not.
He's here, but there he is. He turned his mic on. Nope, he turned it back off. Okay. So, yeah, Jude Law is playing Marvel.
Okay.
I'm hoping that's how it's pronounced.
You're probably right. It sounds like you're right. It's weird, but it sounds like you're right.
There's the Star Force, which is pretty much, it looks like the team that I think Marvel leads, and Carol Danvers is on it.
I thought the Kree were bad guys.
I don't know. I think they're bad guys in some circumstances. This is supposed to be like focusing, like this is around the time of the Kree, and I think they called them the Skrill War.
The Skrull Wars.
Yeah, like so they're mortal enemies, and the Skrill are like shapeshifters. So they try to hide like by looking like other things and people and all that.
I mean, yeah, it'd be effective if you're like, we're here to kill Skrills and not humans, and then a Skrill walks up looking like a human. You're like, hello, fellow human.
Yeah, so they have, at one point in the trailer, Carol punches an old lady in the face.
I saw that.
I was wondering.
That was awesome.
And so I watched it and stuff, and so they're like, yeah, this could be a sign that she might be able to tell if like someone is actually a Skrill, like that's basically shapeshifted into a person. So it's possible she might have the ability to know that that's a Skrill.
Yeah, I like the no remorse look when she just like looks at her and then just punches her. Just like,
yeah, the old lady. Yeah, the old lady just smiles and just like, boom. And then, yeah, she has several suits. So she has her Star Force suit. She has just
her flight suit.
Her flight suit, because it looks like she might have been a pilot
of some kind.
She says that she's been having flashes of memories, but she doesn't know what's real.
What's real? She was apparently part of Top Gun.
Yeah, she went into the danger zone. That's how she got her powers.
I mean, isn't that where everybody gets their powers? In the danger zone?
And so, yeah, it kind of shows her as like a kid, and then a little older, and then like during her Air Force days, I guess, and then like what she is at that point. And then at the end, they kind of show her kind of powering up like she's going to kick some ass.
Well, you did also notice when she was getting up to fight, they showed her at different ages all getting up at the same time, doing the action of getting up ready to fight.
Yes.
So I'm wondering why that is. I know, like I said,
hold her down.
I know nothing of Captain Marvel at all. And my question for you, Alex, is did you know this stuff beforehand, or did you specifically look for it after you watched the trailer?
I wouldn't say I've really researched Captain Marvel, because I still don't know like anything about her. It's just I've kind of looked into it a little bit, and I've gotten bits and pieces here and there, like even before the trailer came out, like when they first kind of hinted at her at the end of Infinity War. I was like, okay, I kind of want to at least get an idea of who this character is. So that's kind of why I know at least like the very bare minimum about Captain Marvel, and that's it. I could not go into any detail whatsoever after what I just said.
Gotcha.
But I'm excited for it. And it seems like most people I've talked to are excited for it. And then it's funny, I really should never go and look, but I decide, I'll go and look at the comments. And it seems like almost all the people in the YouTube comments are like, oh, this trailer just doesn't give me the chills. It's not as exciting as Infinity War. And it's like, well, Infinity Wars was this super thing that everything led up to.
They're just idiots because this is an origin story.
Yeah, and not to mention, this is the first trailer that's only 2 minutes. Going to be other trailers.
Yeah, people are.
There's going to be at least one or two more. Yeah, there's people who are like, oh yeah, like Shazam looks better than this, and like Wonder Woman looks better than this, and it's like, perhaps, I don't know. I mean, I think Wonder Woman 1984 looks like it's going to be pretty good, but I'm also excited for Captain Marvel, and I'm excited to see kind of what she can do. And this movie is then going to make people excited for the second part of Infinity Wars. That's not really Infinity Wars. I don't know. Yeah, it's an origin story. I think people got it's like in the past when Captain America and Iron Man and all these, I don't think anyone got super excited for those trailers either, because again, they're an origin story. They were pretty much the stepping stones leading up to the Infinity War.
Well, and also Infinity War was nothing but action. There was no dabbling in anything. It's like, oh, yep, crap's going down. Let's do this. Anyways, so speaking of watching trailers, apparently there's something else you wanted to talk about, Alex.
Oh, well, I'm the only one who's seen it because I'm the only one who has a first membership.
Oh, I watched the trailer, but I didn't watch the show.
Yes, Arizona Circle. This week is currently going on is Funhaus Week on the Rooster Teeth channel, the Rooster Teeth site. So, like, a whole bunch of, like, news shows that Funhaus is putting out.
Hold your thought. Sorry. If we do keep this in the podcast, we're going to be switching channels real quick, people, to get Joseph into it. So just one moment. All right.
Okay, because I can switch it to East too if you were there.
No, just continue your thought, Alex. Oh, and also say hi. Hi, Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
What? Oh, hi.
So what were you saying, Alex? Sorry, we had some technical difficulty.
Just Arizona Circle.
Okay, I watched that trailer. You watched part of a pilot episode, I heard.
The pilot episode. Supposedly, they need 7,000 new subscriptions to actually make more, but
that's interesting. I don't know what to say about that.
Has Rooster Teeth or any kind of affiliation done that before?
I think they've had like runs kind of like that, but I don't think it was to the point where they essentially threatened, hey, we need this many, otherwise more isn't going to be made.
Well, in a logic sense, that's not a terrible thing, because it's saying like, well, we want to invest time and money in this, but we want to make sure we have the viewer base that's going to enjoy the time and effort we put into this. But subscribers, are you saying to Rooster Teeth, or are you talking about subscribers to their group? Because you said they're Funhaus?
Funhaus is under the Rooster Teeth umbrella. And so once you get a subscription on the Rooster Teeth site, you get access to all the groups that are underneath the Rooster Teeth umbrella.
So how are they tracking 7,000 like following in them?
No, like the subscription base is called First. You're a first member if you're subscribed to them. So you have to pay to watch. There's certain videos and series that are only available to people with First memberships.
Yes.
And other than that, First also gets early access to everything, even the stuff that everybody else eventually gets to see.
Yes, like Ruby gets First members get to watch Ruby, and then a week later than everybody else does. So I don't know. I didn't get to see the beginning of Arizona Circle, but from what I saw, it didn't exactly appeal to me, which was a little bit of a disappointment because I love Funhaus. Josh Flanagan, Chris Damaris, and Blaine looked like they worked on it with them. So it was like a Rooster Teeth, Funhaus kind of mix. And it just didn't appeal to me as well. Like there's some good points, but overall, I wasn't finding it as funny as I thought I would after people have been talking about it.
My questions for you, Alex, is that the typical humor of Funhaus? Because I've never seen anything from them, but like their jokes to me just felt wrong instead of funny. It's kind of like, you know, the one friend that, you know, tries to be funny and say a joke and you're just like, no, that was just terrible.
I think it's kind of like what they do. I think it's more of like the topics that they went with are kind of similar to what Funhaus does, but I think Funhaus is better at reacting to stuff. Like their gameplay videos, that's what I watch the most is their gameplay videos, because they're reacting to what's like on the screen, what's being played.
Okay, so
it's not scripted.
Yeah, no script is just all like ad lib, all live.
Yeah,
gotcha. All right, yeah, because I was not feeling the humor in it at all.
It kind of felt to me like it was because I watched the trailer. It really kind of reminded me of Reno 911, where it was supposed to be like comedy cops.
That's part of it, because this is like it's like a half hour of skits. And so one of the skits was like a cops or Reno 911 kind of deal.
Okay, so is it more like SNL then?
I think it's more like Key and Peele, if you've seen Key and Peele.
I have not, but I think I understand regardless.
So you haven't seen the substitute teacher skit with Ron and
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
So it's like that type of setup with like skits. So I guess you could say it's SNL as well, but I mean it's not live like SNL is. Yeah, it's just a bunch of skits all put together, kind of around there was like a somewhat of a main story, and then there would be like stuff in like the background that they would kind of pan to that would then bring about the next skit. We'll see. Maybe if they're able to make more, maybe they'll think better of it. But just right now, the pilot episode did not grab my attention.
It was raw and rough.
Yeah. Like I did
sounded a little bad, Mal.
I know. Sorry.
I kind of like the cops part, and there was a part where his character was being told like certain movies that he could be cast in from his agents. That was kind of good, but the rest was kind of like eh.
Yeah, the joke I just said was exactly the type of humor it is.
Yes, raw.
No, it's dirty and kind of Anyways,
yeah.
Joseph,
we already talked about this, but we'd like your input. Have you seen the Captain Marvel trailer?
I did see the Captain Marvel trailer.
All right. What did you think of it? Yeah.
So what's the next topic, guys? I thought it was interesting. I feel like I didn't feel like it is doing the movie justice because it didn't make me curious enough. It was just sort of establishing what the story, well, not even what the story would be, but who the character of Captain Marvel is. And then it shows, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents when they were younger, and that was cool. But that didn't intrigue me near as much as the teaser did and the image of their Kree team.
Well, maybe in this instance, which I think we were talking about that earlier, because I mentioned that I looked at the YouTube comments, and it seems like a lot of people on the YouTube verse were feeling that same way. It might be that at least with this first trailer, it's less than 2 minutes. They're kind of trying to establish the characters that are going to be in it for maybe the people that aren't comic book
savvy.
Yeah, comic book savvy like myself. Like I like the trailer, but I understand where you're coming from, that you don't get anything from it other than, okay, these are the players that are going to be in the movie.
I felt like establishing the character was the wrong direction to go. If that's just my opinion, but I think the right way to go is to make us care about the movie itself and not the character. Because if we like the movie, if we think the movie's worth watching, then we'll come out of the movie liking the character. But if the trailer doesn't make me interested in the story of the movie, I might not see it, but I'm going to see it because it's Captain Marvel.
I think we'll get that in the next trailer. There's going to be at least 1 to 2 more trailers before this movie comes out. And I think that's where we're going to get the actual kind of hint of the story of what's going to be going down, who's the actual antagonist in all this, because people are speculating that Marvel is going to be the antagonist.
I mean, it makes sense. All the previously filmed and released movies have set the Kree up to be the bad guys.
Or a bad entity.
And I mean, they also mentioned in the trailer kind of talking about like Rogue Soldier. And so I've heard speculation that maybe she was not necessarily working on the Star Force of her own free will. And so she found a way to get away from them and now is going to fight them. And that's where Marvel becomes the main antagonist. Who knows? We don't know because they didn't give us anything other than here's the characters.
Hi, characters.
Hi.
Me, George Flintstone.
I hope not.
George Flintstone.
Yeah.
Did that trigger anyone? I was hoping it would.
I got it.
I mean, I get the fact that you put 2 characters together and one's from the future and one's from the Stone Age.
You're smart.
I mean, they are from the same company.
Yes, Hanna-Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera.
I've never really known.
I've never pronounced it as Hanna-Barbera.
I've heard it as both.
So
Actually,
oh God, no, Nerd Joseph.
Was that an inhaler? Well, that had the opposite effect. You okay?
Nope. Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, that was those 2 things. Did we have anything else? Like, we haven't had Joseph around in a while. What's been up, man?
Catching up with Joseph.
I'm feeling lucky.
Wait, that doesn't seem right.
I didn't do the whole intro, and yes, he did the Googler Gavin.
I do that every time. Sometimes I say, I'm feeling here.
I'm also feeling here. I'm glad we have that in common.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Guys, guess what? We're caught up on iTunes.
No way.
We are. How many Russian bots do we still have?
The RT Community Summit has gotten around somewhere between 60 to 100 downloads.
Yeah, keep it up, Russian bots.
In Soviet Russia, we care very much about RT Community Summit.
We're affiliating ourselves by name with a major media influencer, which means if the bots follow us, they will be able to influence our elections more easily.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, it's...
you went there, Tristan. You went there.
I did.
So, speaking of something we're not talking about, I have a Dunl-App.
What? We have a Dunl-App. Oh my gosh.
We get to catch up with Joseph, but we get to catch up with his apps. It's like a twofer.
I get to use 2 of my screens now.
Yay, slates.
Yeah, there it is. I was like, I can't remember the name.
Where the first one gets like crossed out and then replaced.
Okay, I'll keep the first one up long enough to do that.
We're no longer catching up with Joseph. Now we're doing Dunl-Apps.
So, catching up with Joseph, see what I did there? We're going back.
What a meme.
I am experimenting because the internet got so bad here with my provider. Over the summer, I canceled it. And now I'm tethering off of my unlimited Straight Talk phone.
It does sound like you're not suffering the several second delay that you used to complain about.
Yeah, now the worst I can complain about is ping, and I'm fine with that.
Bing.
Ping. Okay, now to it for the Dunl-App. You guys heard of Warhammer?
Yes.
I have.
Warhammer made a card game.
They did, because they also just recently made a game called Vermintide.
This is a card game based off of Age of Sigmar.
Oh, I don't know.
So it's called Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions. And it's similar. Remember when I recommended the Plants vs. Zombies card game? It's similar to that for one reason. You have lanes that you play your cards in. And otherwise, it's a lot like Light Seekers, apparently, which my judge buddy Brandon has been a judge for in the past, which is each card has up to all four corners with a little number on it. And each turn, any cards that you have in play will rotate counterclockwise. So every turn, whenever you have any cards in play, you'll rotate them counterclockwise, and then you'll get the effect of whatever that corner is, usually damaged directly to your opponents. There's no interaction between your guys and the other guys across the way where they deal damage to each other like Hearthstone or Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they might interfere with each other, like prevent some damage or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if a card is completely face up again or it has no more corners to turn to, then it'll go to your discard pile. And then you can put something else in that particular lane, but only one card per lane, one champion per lane. And the champions have certain cards they can play, warrior cards versus spell cards. And then the champions have a quest on each corner, and you'll rotate the champion based off whether you've completed the quest on the corner that you're looking at on the upper left, which is like play a soldier or deal some damage or cast a spell. And then after it's done with all four quests, you unlock, it's almost like a prize card from Pokemon. You have 4 blessing cards that are randomly placed in each of the lanes at the beginning of the game. So you unlock the blessing card underneath the hero or the champion, and then that's usually like a powerful, like, deal 8 to your opponent or draw some cards or something like that.
I see. How long do these matches usually take?
A game will last anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. I played one earlier today that lasted quite a long time. It was about 20 or 25 minutes because there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of turns where you get 2 actions per turn usually, unless a card says otherwise. And if you don't take an action, one or both of them, then you end your turn by drawing a card for each action you didn't take. And so sometimes there'd be turns where nothing happened. We just redrawing cards, preparing for the next batch of turns, usually on average about 10, 15 minutes.
So you could abuse that to a certain extent and take a gamble. Is there a limit to how many cards you can have in your hand?
There is not, although your deck is only 30 cards.
Oh, so you have to be quick about it.
Yeah, but I have yet to see that be a problem, even with the longest games I've played. You can't click on anything during your opponent's turn to read things.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I have yet to, during my turn, get curious enough to see how many cards are in my deck, but so far it hasn't been an issue.
Okay.
The whole decking yourself. But you can get a pretty big hand. And if you plan ahead with lane placement with your champions and finishing your quests and reacting to what your opponent's doing in the sphere of influence of your cards, you can actually get pretty far ahead.
Can you deck yourself even?
I would imagine so, because there's cards that put cards from your discard back into your deck.
Okay. From my knowledge, yeah, Warhammer always started as a tabletop figure game, right?
Yes, it did. It's a miniatures battle style game where you have placement of your miniatures and all of that.
Yeah, that's always what it's been until these new iterations.
So the interesting thing here is something I wish other card games would do. That is, there's a physical card game with booster packs and products you can buy that are like starter decks and things. And then they come with a chance to get a code. Now, the products that aren't booster packs will automatically come with one, but it's similar to Pokemon, where everything you buy from Pokemon comes with a code you can put into your game, either QR or you can actually type in the numbers. Well, in this case, each actual physical card has pips around it that are unique. And then each code card also has pips around it that are unique. You scan the cards into the game, and then the game keeps track of whether, like, you trade a card to your friend, and then they go to scan it. It's like, no, this card's already been redeemed. But you get physical copies of every card that you own in paper into the app. But also the codes that you get that are not tied to a card, but it's like you bought a booster pack, here's a code. You share with your friends, and they scan it. And then it sort of keeps track of how many times your cards have been scanned, and it's almost like an XP sort of thing. So I'm in a Facebook group where the people just share their codes, and through scanning every, 20 to 30 codes that I scan, I unlock a booster pack or something in the game. In addition to that, which is, all that's already amazing. But in addition to that, there's a crafting system similar to that of Hearthstone. I don't like this card. I'm going to cash it in for 10, whatever the unit is. Okay, this card I want to make is 100. I'm going to go ahead and make it. And it's based off of rarity. So that is my recommendation. What are your thoughts?
So you buy physical cards and you have an app.
Yes, and the physical cards are not required, and neither is the app. The app is free, and that's what I've been using, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It is just an app, though, so you would have to get an Android emulator for your computer in order to play it on your computer.
I see.
Essentially, you can play this game without buying any physical packs, buying anything in the store in the game, and be able to play at least somewhat competitively / casually.
I mean, the deck I made is just something I wanted to make. Like, I had no resources to make my deck, so it's just like what I had access to, what I was able to craft, that sort of thing. I have a pretty high win percentage, so it's going pretty well.
So another positive thing you could think of is if you are interested in trying the game, get the app, see if you like the game, and then you could also buy the cards if you actually wanted to get the cards.
I'm actually tempted to spend some of my Magic Judge money. I'm working some events coming up, and I've worked some the past few weeks to just like buy the starter decks. I'm tempted. I'm playing with the idea. So that game again is Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions.
Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing it, Joseph.
Yay! We got catching up with Joseph and Dunl-Apps.
Yeah, I'll polish off catching up with Joseph with one more thing, which is this whole becoming an L2 thing as a Magic Judge has been paying off. Like literally paying off. So that's a good thing. I've been running local tournaments within a 2-hour driving radius, which in Texas is nothing, and getting money, which is kind of nice.
Woo!
Yay.
Has that helped since you're off for the summer as a teacher?
When I was off for the summer, it was very useful. I went to Indianapolis. I went to Las Vegas. And that was nice. It wasn't cheap at all, but at least I had the time. During the school year, it's just on a Saturday, I'll do a 1-day thing where I'm the head judge.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Joseph making that paper.
Yeah.
All right. Is it time to get the flip out of here?
I think so.
Is that the next topic?
I believe so. All right, guys, let's get the flip out of here.
Woo!
Flip out of here.
Good night.
Gosh. Good night. Gosh.
Gosh. Hashtag good gosh.
Good gosh.
Wow, you guys.
Why did that make me laugh so much?
Because we're awesome.
Awesomer.
Awesomest.
There goes the neighbor net.
The neighbor net.
There goes the neighbor net.
Thanks to the following patrons for making this video possible. Support us at patreon.com/player4podcast.